Good morning. So today's Core Express workout. I've got my Tabata timer. Whoops, that would be a husband picture. So I've got my Tabata timer. Shorter intervals today because I just wanted to take this little bit of beginning of the class to talk to you about why we're doing a lot of these exercises. A lot of them is because our core is a very complex area on our body. It is the front, it is the back, it's the side, and it connects the top and the bottom together so all the other exercises we do can be more effective. So, what does it entail? Rectus abdominis, right in the center. It is what's focused as that six-pack, but that is not the core. It's just what looks good in pictures. So, go beyond the six-pack, okay? That's going to be your crunches or your sit-ups. We've got the obliques, which are internal and external. So there are layers of all of these muscles, the tissue that makes up the whole ab world or your core. So we've got the obliques. That's for side bends, and you can do decline oblique crunches. So we're going to do some of those. The intercostal is between the side of the rib cage, and it comes into play so it can move us side to side. It actually, the function is the elevation and depression of the ribs. Bicycles are going to be for the intercostal. Serratus, so that is the area that comes into your pec muscles. Your lats are back here. All of these muscles are all tapped into with all of these different exercises. So that's why a core workout is not a one exercise fits all. It's a combination of all of these workouts. So I'm going to start the clock. And of course I have to put in my code. So basically the workout on one level is going to be very basic. It's going to be all on a mat. But what I did do is I do have a bench. So if you have something in your house, whether it's an exercise ball, just so you can get a little bit of a decline, you're going to be able to feel that decline crunch a little bit more than if you're flat on the floor. So I've just added it in there. I know not everybody has a bench, but if you can just find something to kind of lean back on a little bit more, just a little bit, it just taps into that muscle area a little bit. Just not more effective, but just better training. So we've got crunches, air bikes, reverse crunches. Again, this workout is not anything that you haven't seen before. I haven't recreated anything. It's just the packaging of it, and maybe knowing which muscles you need, and also know that you can't just focus on one area with the core. That's not the job of that muscle group. The job of the muscle group is to create stability and to protect our internal organs. So there's a lot of really important stuff here. So that's why we need a strong core, one of the reasons, keeping us independent, keeping us moving. We're going to start with side bends. I put my hand right against my leg and I slide my fingertips down towards my knees. You will need to be aware of your posture on this. If you push into the floor, feel all of your toes. Try not to lean forward. So your hands on your legs are telling you if this is being done properly. So the fingertips going down the side of your legs. Crunches. Let's move down to the floor. And fingertips right on your temples, looking at the ceiling, and you're just going to pick your head and shoulders up off the floor just a little bit. Leave your feet planted on the floor. It's not a full sit-up. You don't need to take your chin to your chest. A lot of times what I see is this for crunches, okay? Your head going back and forth, but it's not. Your head stays neutral on your spine. Perfect. Reverse crunches. So now we're going to add the legs in. Just adds more muscle activation. So, a lot of different ways. You can actually keep your feet from the floor, keep your hands on the floor, and just bring your knees up together. And you can also bring those elbows into your knees and add the traditional crunch to your reverse crunch. Feel your spine. Okay, seated twists. You don't need to hold a medicine ball, but I do want you to think about how much range you're going towards. You don't need to take your hands all the way to the floor. I want you to see from the side, just a little bit, but keep your chest open. Keep it safe. You don't want to get into the low back. And just twist, 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 twist. Good, air bikes. If you did the family word workout today, you know we did some bikes today. So, different options. Push through the heels. I like to keep my fingertips connected to my head and my hands not wrapped around. What that does is it gives you the impression, tells your brain, oh, you must be moving because your elbows are kind of coming in close. I want you to think about the obliques being activated for these bicycles. Okay, crunches with overhead arms. So now we add a little bit more muscle around the shoulders, and you're adding to your lever by extending your torso and extending your arms. Keep your ears right between your biceps. Raising your arms overhead is so freeing and feels so good. It's definitely a range of motion and a movement you don't want to lose. There you go. Lying leg raises. Tuck your hands under your hips. Head is flat on the floor. Flex those toes back. You're going to come down and then come back up. Leave your hips pressing into your hands. Just creates a safer space. And if this bothers your low back, try to figure out what might be going on. Are your feet relaxed? You want to have your toes flexed back. Are you going too low? Are you lifting off the floor? Lots of questions to ask. Frog sit-ups. Press the bottoms of your feet together. And go ahead and come up. And then come back down. So what it does is it takes your hip flexors out by turning your feet in. So you have to use your abdominals a little bit more in order to get yourself up. So more muscle, different muscle. Keep those feet pressed together. Nice. Oblique crunches. Feet are flat on the floor. The hands are lightly on your head. We're going to go side to side and alternate. So it's kind of like a half bicycle. I press the elbow into the floor in order to get the other elbow up. I don't close off my face, meaning I don't swing the elbow in across. I keep it open, just makes it more effective, and it actually gets more muscle than closing yourself off. Puts a concentration in there. Russian twists. So these are similar to your seated twists. And you can add a little bit more. So if you were holding on to a medicine ball, you can actually add a little bit more by touching right behind you. So we take the seated twist we did earlier, and now we're adding to it with that reach. So good. Feels so good. Okay, so now we've got the decline crunch. So if you have a bench or something you can sit on and come back. Hook your heels right on and then lift up. You will automatically feel that little bit of a difference with your hips raised up and your lower body, your head lower than your hips. It's pretty cool how it just changes just by changing the position of your body. Keep your elbows out to the side. Try not to scrunch in your head. All right. And we have top of the bench, your elbows out to the side may not be as comfortable with your wrists just because the bench is narrow. So try pulling your elbows in. Forgot how good these feel. Perfect. So there's your Core Express workout today. Hopefully you know a little bit more about why we program the way we do, trying to incorporate everything into a workout. But just remember, you can't work your core all by yourself. Don't let the six-pack that people post fool you.